Hi friends, welcome to today's video. I just wanted to give you a quick update about what's been going on. So I can't even really remember what my last update was about, but the miscarriage is complete and I had a checkup, everything came out, and I'm really happy that I went the all-natural route. It may have taken longer, a couple of cycles for everything to get back to normal, but it was well worth it. I feel so good. I've been working out again every single day and pretty hard. I feel like I'm completely back to my normal old self, if you want to call it normal. So here's the update. I just had a call with the clinic that we're going to plan the next transfer with, and I have chosen a different clinic this time. I was totally happy with our last clinic, the IVF Europe in Prague, but this time I chose Pronatal Spa in Karlsbad. In Czech it's called Karlovy something, but it's really close to the German border, which is where we live, and it's 1 hour less drive. So Karlsbad is 4.5 hours of drive and Prague is 5.5 hours. Well, of course, depending on traffic. But with the corona situation going on right now, I don't know what's going to go on, but I'm counting on the fact that I probably have to go in and out of the country, out of Czech, within just 1 day, so 24 hours. So, and also there are no hotels. You can't really stay overnight. And so everything's closed down. We have a partial lockdown. I know that probably at this point, a lot of people wouldn't plan on doing another transfer because there's a lot of unknowns with Corona right now. But here's the thing. I want to act like everything is going to happen because I don't want to lose any more time. If it ends up to be a complete lockdown and they close borders again, well then so be it. I can't help it. That's beyond my control. But I want to do everything on my side to go ahead and plan for the next transfer ASAP. So yesterday I had the call with a clinic. What surprised me in a very positive way was that, well, I had 2 tries to actually start to connect with them. The first time we actually already had a date scheduled for the Skype consultation. They take €100 for the Skype consultation because they don't want just people to have a consultation and then like they shop around for a lot of clinics, which is understandable. But last time when I connected with them, that was maybe a month ago or a little bit more, they didn't give me the information about having to pay €100 before the consultation. And also I didn't get any paperwork that they wanted me to fill out ahead of time. And so I got a call 10 minutes before the Skype call with someone who didn't sound really friendly. And she said to me, well, did you pay the €100? And I said, well, no, I was never told that. Well, but you need to pay the €100. And I was like, yeah, well, I probably can't. I'll pay it now, but probably you won't get it until, later on today. And so we ended up canceling the appointment. That was really disappointing and I was a little bit upset with them. But here's the thing. There's one place in Prague, they have several clinics, one place in Prague where there are coordinators designated to just connect with people who ask over the internet, who send in emails, who are just like an initial contact. And then they schedule an appointment with the actual doctor at the actual clinic and a translator if need be, where you're actually going to have the transfer. So this time, everything went smooth. I started all over again. I just went to their website again, and they had a €100 voucher this time. If you have a consultation in November and you have your transfer by, I think, February 2021, then you get a €100 off. And here's the thing. This clinic is one of the cheapest that I've found. We're going to do a 2 embryo transfer and it's going to be €2,300. But of course I can deduct €100 because they have the voucher going on right now if you have your consultation, which I had yesterday in November. So that's only $2,200 for 2 embryos, and at the last clinic I paid $3,000. Now I did get pregnant, so technically the transfer was successful, but the pregnancy was not successful because I ended up having a blighted ovum, which usually is due to genetic issues. So here's what we talked about yesterday. Of course, the doctor wanted to know a bunch of things. Like, I had filled out a form. They wanted to know my blood type. They wanted to know my health history. They wanted to know minimally about my partner, just because we're not doing IVF. So basically, they just need to know his blood type. And so they asked me about my health history. I've never had surgery. I don't take any medications, never really have. And the doctor said also, yeah, he would be totally recommending 2 embryos, because my doctor here, also my OBGYN, he also sees me as a good candidate, even if I had a twin pregnancy, because I'm very fit. I've never had a cyst. I've never had any, like my last pregnancy with Romy, it was picture perfect, and I had a home birth. Everything was just really good. They say they all thought that 2 embryos would be a good thing, and because of course the likelihood for twin pregnancy is higher and there are a lot more risks involved. But they gave me green light for the 2 embryo transfer, which is a good thing. I do think the statistics say that it does increase chances by a little bit. So even if I can increase my chances a little bit, it's good. Now, they of course told me that I could also add assisted hatching and embryo glue. Assisted hatching is they help the blastocyst to hatch out of the shell. They make a little tiny incision. And also that's the assisted hatching, and the embryo glue, I can't remember what it is, but they use some substance that supposedly helps the embryo implant. Now, I looked at various studies, and there is no statistic relevance in, success rate. So last time I didn't do that, and this time we're not going to opt for these things. But what I liked about this clinic, they didn't just say generally, it just increases your chances. What they said was the embryologist decides if they recommend that. They watch the blastocyst. They watch the fertilized egg develop into a blastocyst. And at this clinic right here, they don't have embryos stored in stock. They will actually create embryos for us. So I like that idea, because they're gonna find the best matches. And also, I asked them, can you, in case I get pregnant and in case there are embryos left over from that batch with the same 2 donors, is it possible to reserve? And they said, they would have to talk to the embryologists. They have to decide if there's enough good quality embryos. And of course, they will all be frozen. I will get a cryo transfer because of timing reasons, because that would be too hard with Corona and everything. And my cycle, which I'm going to get to in just a minute, it's a little bit unpredictable when exactly the transfer will be. So it's a lot safer to do cryo-preserved embryos, not fresh. So yeah, I like that they're actually going to do it a little bit more individual. And also, right away off the bat, they told me about, there's 2 ways we can do this. We can either do a medicated cycle, in which you start taking estrogen or estradiol on day 2, and then we wait, you check endometrium, and then when the endometrium is ripe, if it has the correct thickness, then we start progesterone. And then of course, however many days, I think it's 5 days after you start progesterone, that's when you're supposed to be receptive, and that's when the transfer will take place. And then they also told me, you can also do natural cycle, which is what I did last time. And, I told them I know all about it. And I told them that last time my endometrium was at 10 millimeters on cycle day 8, which is pretty good. I have shorter cycles, so I don't know, for my body, I drink a lot of raspberry leaf tea. I go outside a lot. I run, I walk. out in the fresh air a lot. I do yoga. I think that helps with, you know, just general circulation and especially around the uterus. And so they thought natural cycle would be a good option. Now here's my problem right now. I don't know where I'm at in my cycle. It's a little weird. I think my hormones are still, I wouldn't say they're not balanced, because I feel so good. I don't feel anything's out of balance. I don't have any breast tenderness or any PMS-ish kind of symptoms. I feel so nice and balanced. But I have not ovulated since I've miscarried, which was in like August and September. You know, the September cycle was still, the rest came out. There was still some tissue remaining. And so in September, everything came out. And so now it's already November and I have not ovulated. Here's the thing. My OBGYN, when he did the checkup and he looked at my uterus and he said, well, that's awesome. Everything came out. It looks good. And then he said, whoa, you already ovulated again. But I think he's wrong. I did not ovulate. I take my basal body temperature every day and it has not risen at all. It's always the same level, and it's that lower level that I always have pre-ovulation. It's been that way for weeks. And also I've been doing ovulation tests, you know, the OPKs, and there were almost positive a few times, but I never ended up having a rise in temperature. So to me, that means I never did ovulate. And also, I haven't had a period. Except, this is day 7. 1 week ago, I actually started having some, I don't know if I should call it spotting or actual bleeding. I can't really, I don't know what's really going on. So normally when I had a period, you know, it starts quite suddenly, like, you know, maybe just for a few hours before it actually starts bleeding for real. You have a little bit of a little bit of blood, and then it really starts. And that goes on for about 4 days, and then the 5th day it's very little, and then it fades out. This time, for the past 7 days, I thought, whoa, now I'm starting to bleed, but it never got a lot more. But then one day, sorry for TMI, but one day I thought, well, I'm not really bleeding, it's just a little bit of spotting. And I forgot to put in a panty liner, or like I have those washable pads. And well, and then my underwear was stained. And I thought, oh, it's more than I thought. And it's been going on for 1 week that it's not a real period strong. It is red blood, but it's so little, and that's weird. I've never had a period like that. So I don't know if anybody ever has a period like that. And after my last miscarriage 2.5 years ago, it was the opposite. I actually had really strong periods after that. And now it's so light, and I don't know if I should I consider last week to be day 1? I have no idea what's going on. So right now, and I talked to the clinic, and they were so nice. They didn't just put me in this, it's very individual, and I like that. And what I love the most, when they started the call with me, I don't know, maybe below my email address, like below my email, I have this automatic signature, and it said, you know, I'm a vocal coach and singer, vocals and piano, and it has my website links. And they actually had looked at it and they said, wow, that is so wonderful. You're a singer, and you're, especially during these Corona times, you're bringing some culture here to our clinic. That is so cool. I love that. They were, I mean, it felt like they wanted to have some connection. And I told them that I have a YouTube channel where in which I share my journey, and I also name their clinic. Of course, this YouTube channel is so tiny, but still, nevertheless, that if it's successful, I would definitely love to tell people and recommend their clinic if I have a great experience. And so I think that really helps when you're not just a number, when you have something that they will remember you by. So that was already a positive. So that's where we're at right now. That's pretty much all for the update. Well, Andreas is not doing well. He did so good for a few weeks, and now he's been hit really hard. He went to the hospital yesterday. I mean, he's out now, but he had to go to the hospital yesterday because he's had a tinnitus. He's had this tone in his ear. Can't remember right now what it's called in English. A tinnitus for several months now, and it's getting louder and louder. And so yesterday he went to the hospital to have it checked, and also in general he feels really, really bad. His he made a mistake. He actually slowly faded out his thyroxine, the thyroid hormone that he's been taking for several years because of his like a slight hypoactive thyroid. But I think it all has to do with his terrible insomnia. So it's been pretty bad. And so yesterday he went to the hospital, and basically they told him it's his ears are shot and his jaw is shot. I don't know all the Latin words that they put on his diagnosis. It's just all a bunch of things. They actually did an MRT because they thought he might have a brain tumor. Thank God this has not proven to be true. So now he's doing a cortisone therapy. So that's why we're moving to the next transfer instead of trying for a couple months with like a timed intercourse kind of cycle, because there's no way he's taking all this medication now. He feels so bad, and so no way I'm going to put more pressure on him by, like having timed intercourse. That's not a good thing. So, and he's all on board with me going to the clinic. And let's pray that he's going to get better. It's just been such an up and down in the past several years, and he's never been really well. It's just very straining for everyone in the family. So that's my update. I will give you another one when I know more. And I hope my next cycle will start soon, because then I want to do it. In Germany, the borders right now are still, you can still go. If you are not going as a tourist, you can still travel if it's for non-tourist reasons. And if you have medical reasons or going to a clinic, I think when you have a paper from the clinic saying you're just going there, and I would just really go there and go right back home. I'm not going to see anyone else. Literally sit in my car, drive there, get the transfer, which is only a few minutes really, and then drive back home. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm not really gonna stop except maybe going to a bathroom, and I'm just gonna drive through. And so I think that is very low risk. But of course, if the government or one of the governments decides we're gonna close borders, or no one's allowed to go outside the door anymore, which it's that situation in Italy and Italy and Spain, you're actually not allowed to go outside your house. I think they only have it past a specific time, but I could be wrong. In the spring, they had it actually, you were not supposed to go out the house, which is insane. I have a dog. I have to go outside the house. There's no way I can't not go outside the house. Plus, I have a daughter. She's going to school. Schools are still open. So, but let's just see what happens there. Crazy times, but I'm trying to do my yoga to not, stress too much. I do watch what's going on in the world. It's insane. But thank you for tuning in for my update. I am so excited. It would be so amazing if I could be pregnant before Christmas. Oh, and by the way, one more thing. They did say that it takes them probably at least 4 weeks to have the embryos created. So I'm waiting for their email so I can make the advance payment. They want part of the money in advance, which I totally understand, because they're going to create some embryos. So that's going to cost money, of course. They're going to have an egg donor and a sperm donor. And it's crazy that embryo donation is actually cheaper than egg donation and using your husband's sperm, which we're not going to do. We are so okay with even adopting, but the laws are too complicated, and it's our age. We can't really adopt anymore here in Germany. And so, with the foster parenting, nothing has come up. I don't know why. They said I'm such a great candidate. At least that's what they tell me. And they just said, well, there just haven't been any cases that would have been a good fit for your family situation and all. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's just God saying I'm still supposed to have my child, because I'm open for adoption. I'm open for it all, but I'm just trying all these avenues. Have a great day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.